22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.
And are not afraid to say it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. You were tuned into Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show. After a brief hiatus, we are back. I took some time off. Out of 285 episodes, I missed maybe 10 of those in years, and I needed a break. I saw one of my favorite shows that I watched, Real Time by Bill Maher. He took a break every year from just before Thanksgiving to after Martin Luther King Day. So I took me a little 2-month break too. And now we are back, show 206. We're about to get it popping. New year, new decade, new administration in the White House. It's about to go down. Shout out to Nancy Cater Maldonado, who's tuned in. And let me introduce my lovely host, Lorraine Lopez, in the house.
Hey, what's up, AJ? Hi, Nancy.
Say what's up.
Hi, AJ.
What's up? Damon should be tuned in soon. Not sure if Dr. Bob's tuning in. But we about to get it. We about to get it. Our first show back. Real quick. So we got a packed show. We're gonna have some fun. Our first guest is already here, so I'm gonna bring her on real quick. We're gonna get right into this. Let's see. Hello.
Hello, how are you all?
Hi, Yoki.
Hi, how are you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
How are you? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
My new friend, Yoki.
Well, we met before.
Great. This is
we met at Kenny's yes. I can't hear you.
Kenny Plumbers? No, Kenny.
No, Kenny Chamberlain at the premiere of his father's movie. We met. You and I met.
Yogi, AJ got a little bit.
Okay.
I just want to say, AJ, hold on. AJ got a little bit of delay, but it's only literally 2 seconds. So just give him a second to come through, and then we do it like that.
Got it.
You could hear you great. It's just a little, 2 seconds. Go ahead.
Modern technology. We still trying to work all of the bugs out. I missed the studio. I met you again for your organization's Teens Under Construction. You're having which is a Black and Brown business pop-up shop at the Galleria Mall. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, we'll be having a pop-up shop to highlight small business owners, Black and brown business owners in the community near us. Really to expose and highlight the business of color in our community.
That's fantastic. What's in the
So for
pop-up shop?
Um,
What
so a
merchandise?
pop-up So a pop-up shop allows business owners to come out and set up a table. We will be there. We will be in the Galleria Mall in the inside the old Victoria's Secret store. Based on the way that that store is set up, it allows us to give everyone enough space so that there's social distancing and we can keep with those regulations. So we will be there every Saturday from 12 to 7, and we will be having each business have their setup and give out their business cards, sell their products, and really get known in their community.
So, but what kind of products? Give us an example.
If you're a business owner of color, I don't care what you have, as long as it's a service. That it could be a service, it can be a product. You could be a hairdresser, you can be a baker.
Oh, okay. So there's still time for folks that have businesses, small business, to contact you. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In addition to the pop-up store, we're also having a free store in addition to the pop-up store. So for any social workers or any helping professionals that might have any families in need, we're going to be having the old Hot Topic location on February 12th, the 13th, and the 14th. We are calling it Spread Love through TUC and the Valley Day Foundation because it's Valentine's Day. So we're calling it, we're just spreading some love. And we're going to be providing a store to allow families that might be struggling, might have been impacted by COVID, financially struggling in any way, to come in and kind of shop for items that they might need. As a non-for-profit, we get a lot of donations, especially from Walmart. So we constantly picking up donations. I mean, we have everything from underclothes for men and women to school supplies to blankets, and we just want to be able to provide the community with items that they need. So we try to do for both, right? We try to provide for the low income family, and we also want to be able to have the opportunity to highlight the business in the community.
Thank you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I want to introduce my host, Dr. Bob, Robert Basketball, PhD, aka Brooklyn Bob, and the place to be. Say what's up to the people. He just waved, huh? So tell us a little bit about the organization Teens Under Construction. What is that about?
So I am Bronx born. I am originally from Hunts Point in the South Bronx. I was a teen mom. I usually let everyone know off top. I was a high school graduate and a teen mom. And in my 20s, I decided to go back to school, and I ended up following a career in social work. So I am a licensed therapist. I am very authentic to who I am. I speak with a slang and walk with an attitude. And I really brought that to my profession. So in working with a lot of young folks that look like myself, I was able to start to realize that it wasn't only me who was struggling as a kid and struggling with connecting with helping professionals, because a lot of them didn't look like me and didn't really understand my Afrocentric opposed to the Eurocentric way that therapy is provided. So what I did was that I started my own non-for-profit organization, really to focus on young people in urban communities. A lot of our kids that are disconnected from school, who are disconnected from work, who are just kind of roaming our streets with no really no direction. And what I did to keep it real to myself was that I started to incorporate hip hop into my therapy. And that's where Teens Under Construction was born, right? I believe that we are all under construction. We tend to identify youth of color as kids at risk. And I wanted to take that at risk of what? Like, I'm at risk. Okay, at risk of what? What are you doing? So So I said I like the fact that they're under construction, right? Trying to figure them out, building their blueprint, really trying to figure out what their adulthood life is going to be looking like. And I've been very successful in doing that. So I have contracts with Valhalla, DOC, the Department of Corrections. We go into the jails and we're providing this type of therapeutic service to the young inmates, 18 to 24. And we really incorporate, we talk about trauma, about coping skills, about the stigma in being a man, about the whole concept that men don't cry, right? And that men don't have emotions or don't show emotions. And we do it in a way that they really adapt to it. And then at the end of our 6th week, because it's a 6-week program, they get to rap about their experience, and they rap about the trauma they've been through, the coping skills they're learning, and what they're building to make sure that they don't come back into that space. So that's pretty much what Teens Under Construction is under. It's just that we're just trying to create strong minds and healthy hearts.
I'm really,
Somebody got like a cell phone or something.
I'm really feeling that, and as a hip hop head, I'm really loving that. And our next guest who's coming in soon, I see him in the waiting room. Mayor Andre Rainey, he's also a hip hop head too. I see him nodding his head. So I'm
That's
really,
my guy.
I love how you incorporate hip hop into that. Oh yeah, you know. Okay.
Absolutely, we've met. We've actually met a
So,
couple times.
Anybody? Oh, okay. So what? Tell everybody about the book shop. If I have a business and I want to get involved, how do I do that? Is it too late, or can I still get involved in that?
Absolutely. There's still time to get involved. We're going to be there to the end of February, every Saturday to the end of February. So if you're a small business owner and you want to come out and allow us to highlight you and, expose you to the community, please feel free to reach out to me at info@tuc-inc.com. That's our email. Our website is teensunderconstruction.com, all one word. You can also find us via there, but you can certainly shoot me an email. I'll reply as quickly as possible. I'll send you the information, the form, and if you're interested in proceeding, we'll go ahead and find you a Saturday, find your location, and make sure that we highlight you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming. As I told you when I spoke to you, supporting Black business is a passion of mine, being a Black business owner. And we try to promote as much as possible. So I definitely appreciated what you were doing. I definitely wanted to give you a few minutes to talk about that and highlight that. And also, you'll be able to find Black Westchester. You're going to be able to get a copy of Black Westchester at the pop-up shop. Black Westchester. I might not physically be there, but the newspaper will be there.
Absolutely.
In support of the pop-up shop. So I want to thank you. Anything I didn't ask you that you want to tell us?
Just check us out. We are on Instagram. You can check some of our workout on Instagram.
I have a small delay.
Okay. So a lot of our work is on Instagram. We have a lot of the kids that actually.
I have a small delay, so I'm asking everybody to just deal with me. So I'm
okay.
Anything I didn't ask you that you want to tell us?
You can check us out. We are on Instagram. Some of our workout on Instagram.
I have a small delay.
Okay. Am I good?
Well, thank you very much. Everybody forgive the technical difficulties. And good luck with that. So I'm asking everybody to just deal with this. I'm hearing an echo.
Does someone have their cell phone next to them?
Right. Well, thank you for that. Keep on what's going on. Try to go through it. Or you can and I'll see you when you go.
Absolutely. I'll look forward to it. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so yeah, and I don't know where it is, it's a phone or something on. Go through and do and I'll see you.
Absolutely, I'll look forward to it. Thank you.
Oh, that's crazy. Bob, do you have a phone on? Bob, is your phone on? Okay.
AJ, I think it's coming from Dr.
Rain,
Bob.
you don't have your phone on?
My phone is off and all the way on the other side. I think it's coming from Dr. Bob, AJ.
Okay, that is where it was coming from. That is from. Well, we can get right into our next guest. The man that needs no introduction, my man, Peekskill Mayor, Andre Rainey. What's going on, fam?
What's up, my people? Happy New Year. Welcome back, Black Westchester. Welcome back. The voice of the people.
No doubt, no doubt. No doubt. I'm going to try to bring Dr. Bob back in and see if we've solved that echo problem.
All right.
Hold on real quick. Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob. Where you at?
Yeah, as soon as he signed
Running
off,
a little slow, still got a little delay going. Right. Trying to bring him back in. But the main reason, one of the main reasons I wanted to bring you on, my brother,
yes, sir.
I wrote a story about Vivian McKenzie running for and that she made history as the first African American woman to be nominated for the Democratic Party in Peekskill for mayor. And immediately I got comments from some people that was some of your haters saying, "Oh, I hope she takes him out." Good. And thought that the two of y'all were running against each other. And I just wanted to bring you on. Because people don't understand, not only are they not running together against each other, you're supporting her. So I just wanted to give you a couple of words and speak on that.
So I just want to say thank you for welcoming me back to your show, man. It's been a long time coming, but it always feels good to be here. And yeah, you know,
no doubt.
I'm so happy for Vivian. You know, I think she has all it takes to move this city forward. And one thing that we've all learned, if nothing in the last 4 years, social media is not the most valid resource of information. So if somebody's saying, I hope he takes him out, those are the people that we got to try to reach, because those are the ones who really don't bother in doing any type of research at all. You know, so those people help me realize that we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, because the message still isn't getting clear to some people, no matter how often or what platform we use. It's just not out there.
Not only that, in the article I wrote, the second paragraph or the second says, Mayor Andre Rainey is not running for re-election.
Right.
I mean, we didn't even read the article. I think maybe I'll put you on and they can see the video. Maybe they'll watch the video. Maybe.
We have to live life like we're in like first grade. And one of the first things they taught us in first grade was to you know, how to read. You have to really read nowadays. There's so much information that's put on everything that consumes the mind, to the point where everything's a click away now. You Google something, you read the first 2 sentences, and you'll go debate with somebody about something you just read. But we really have to really pay attention to what's going on. But you know, that's part of it. It comes with the territory.
No doubt. So real quick, I know that you had or have an album out or a tape out that you released, a hip hop joint. I've heard one of the joints you had Yonkers wordsmith Styles P. You did a record with him.
Shout out to Styles.
I wrote the record of that album, how it's doing, how it's doing.
So we got, listen,
tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So yeah, I put out the project Politics and Music, you know, heavily produced and engineered by M Nasty. And he's always been a friend since I think the first time I recorded with M was in 2001. And he always comes up with these ideas and concepts that really work and help me express who I am as an artist. if I can use any people as a duo to compare my relationship with him, I would definitely say Dre and Eminem. Like he brings the best me out of me that I wouldn't be able to make without his guidance in the studio. So, but yeah, we put together the album. It's called Politics and Music. Put it out on my mother's birthday, September 26, 2020. It's got over 35,000 streams on Spotify alone. Haven't got everything else from like Amazon Music and iTunes and all that yet, but the response that we're getting right now is just exciting. And like you said, I was able to pull Styles P from the locks on one of the tracks, so it feels good. You know, it feels good.
So you got into politics. You were the youngest city councilman of the city, one term, and then you became the youngest mayor of the city. Now you're not running for re-election. What's next for Andre Rainey?
So there's some opportunities down the line that I'm looking forward to. I got some support from some higher up players, and I just really wanted to take some time to polish myself because I'm looking at some other opportunities in the following year. And you know, after the pandemic we just had, I'm trying to focus on rebuilding the city, also focus on raising my children, and just taking care of my responsibilities as a father. I just couldn't commit to campaigning right now. So you know, I was going through a custody issue at one point with one of my children, and I'm ready to go full force on that now. I'm looking to go after. I mean, I'm looking at going after judges and everything now. Like I really want. There's a lot of stuff down the line that I really want to commit to focusing on this year. I just couldn't commit to a campaign right now. So I'm so thankful that Vivian stepped up. There's a lot of people who are like motivated now, who want to be involved, and you know, and that's a beautiful thing. But I just know that Vivian has what it takes to move this city forward in a positive direction, especially after a hit we took from this pandemic. It's just taking care of my responsibilities.
Absolutely. So one of our listeners, Stephanie Swan, said, "Blessing Mayor Andre Rainey."
Oh, thank you, Ms. Swan. Thank you.
And she also said, handle your business. So that fundamental reading her comments as well. Lastly, real quick, tell everybody why you feel they should vote for Vivian. And we're gonna have a separate interview with her later.
Yeah, I'll try to explain this within my 2-hour frame that you gave me to speak on this. But listen, Vivian is one of the most disciplined, focused, determined, wise, decisive people I've ever met in my life. She understands process more than anything. You know, people, when I first ran for office, one of the things that they said about me was he doesn't have the experience to do it. Vivian has the experience to do it, to move the city forward, but she's a business owner. Yes, she's a mother, she's a business owner, she's a wife, she's a leader. All of the elements that make a person you know, prominent for a position like being the mayor is incorporated within Vivian. And I'll say this more than anything. She's not one of those people that use campaign season to say, I'm going to fight for this, I'm going to fight for that. She's been in position and done it. When it comes to fighting for renewable energy, no, Vivian's not outside screaming, I'm going to fight for this, because she's doing it. A lot of the new generation and the new blood, you know, in my millennial group, we're always talking about what we're going to fight for. Vivian's doing it. She's making those decisions for the school district, for the youth. She's making those decisions for affordable housing. She's making those decisions for renewable energy. She's making those decisions for the senior citizens who need assistance. She's doing it. Vivian is the person that could take this city forward. And as a business owner, as a mother, as a wife, she's disciplined, she's grounded, she's humble, and most importantly, in my opinion, she's for the people.
That's what's up. Yo, so is there anything I didn't ask you? Oh, first off, just because you're not running for re-election, just because you're not going to be city council or mayor, you know you got an open door whenever you want to come on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
That's one. But two, is anything I didn't ask you that you want to get out? Let the people know, or any plans you can share with your last year as
Yeah,
mayor
yeah.
or
So
whatever?
we're Peekskill, the city of Peekskill is in a
Yes.
unique position. As you all know, we won the DRI, the $10 million for the DRI, but during my first term, we received about 16 million. My first term and a half so far, we received about $16 million in grants from those on the higher levels who support us. We're looking to start putting that money to work as soon as this pandemic releases. But one of the great things I'm very proud of, I'm most proud of, is the fact that we work with the Housing Authority now. We're working with the Boys and Girls Club of Mount Kisco to bring the Boys and Girls Club to the city of Peekskill. There's been a lot of, we almost lost our Kylie City. The city of Peekskill sold the Kylie Youth Center to the Housing Authority back in 2002, and the Housing Authority they don't really care too much for the Kylie Center anymore. It's almost like an expense that they just don't get a profit or revenue from. So we came up with this idea of putting the Boys and Girls Club there, and now they're enthusiastic about keeping it in our community. So bringing the Boys and Girls Club to the city of Peekskill after the year we just had, we lost some teenagers to violence last year during the pandemic. We want more opportunity for our children. So our youth borough, our school district, and our Boys and Girls Club, we're going to come together, and this year we're going to create the foundation for the future of our youth.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I wish you well with the new project. I wish you well with the new project. Please keep sending me the videos and everything. Keep me updated on what's going on with that. And like I said, while you're still in office, and even after office, you're welcome on the show anytime.
I appreciate it, y'all. Listen, I appreciate both of y'all, Lauren, Dr. Bob. Good to see y'all, Lorraine. Y'all be safe out there. Continue social distancing. I'll definitely be in touch too, man.
All right.
Peace and love.
No doubt. No doubt. Peace. All right. Dr. Bob, would you like to say a couple of words? We had a couple of echoes coming from your side of things for a minute, but would you like to say a couple of words to the people real quick?
Firstly, my apologies, because I logged on to Facebook to respond to Stephanie's comment and say hello and inadvertently activated the mic. So it was me. I was getting ready to tell y'all, turn you, and it's me. You caught it. No, I was like, yo, what happened? In any event, of course, it's wonderful to be back on air with you and Lorraine and the rest of the audience. Obviously, I think after the recent events, we all needed time off to collect our thoughts, rejuvenate our spirits, and I hope we're all back ready for that await us in 2021. I am going to say one thing, AJ. I don't think we can overstate the need for everybody to mobilize right now. Whatever you feel needs to be done to change the situation that we're in, everyone needs to be doing it now. I hope everyone is well rested. Even though we are fortunate to have a Democratic administration that may be more receptive to progressive ideas and policies, they will not be enacted if we don't push. And I think we've always been clear about that here at Black Westchester. We want to make sure the audience knows that the policy has not changed, and we still need to be pushing to see the policies in the direction that we want to see the nation moving.
No doubt, no doubt. We're going to get into our next guest. I want to play this little promo thing that I did real quick, and then we're going to get into our next guest. You are now tuned into the People Before Politics radio show, brought to you by the good folks at
Black Westchester. Black Westchester. Black Westchester. Black Westchester. Check the newspaper. Black Westchester. Black Westchester. Black Westchester. Check the newspaper.
Real talk for the community since 2014.
What's
up,
AJ, Black Westchester. Black Westchester.
Word, I was about to go in.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say
Shout Yo, shout out to my man JCA Official, a rapper from White Plains. He did a joint called Election Day. I shared his video on Black Westchester, and he in the middle of the song, Black Westchester, text paper. And that's, still trying to get my man Jericko. I sent him to add scratches to it. He ain't never added my scratches yet, but I had to play it. But welcome to the show. I got two brothers, two friends of mine, Brother John and Tri-State Jericko, the host of one of the hottest shows out. It's an internet show, an Instagram show.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? What's up, yo?
And
y'all hear me?
Yo, Tri-State.
I'm feeling, I told y'all both individually, I'm feeling what y'all doing.
Thanks, brother.
AJ got a little bit of a delay. He got a little bit of a delay, guys. So give him a second after he talks. 2 seconds for it to come through.
Well, I just want to say thanks.
Yeah, evidently I have a delay.
I'd like to say hello to the whole panel. What's
No
up?
doubt.
Rain. Hey, Dr. Bob. Good to be here.
Hey, Brother John.
Yes.
Tri-State Jericko in the house too.
So I gotta say this.
Y'all see me?
Yeah.
I gotta say this. Gotta say this real quick. I gotta say this real quick. So those been for almost 7 years. August will be 7 years. And for 6.5 years, we've been trying to get this dude called Tri-State Jericko and do a little DJing or something. We had to talk about his show to get him on. I mean, I'm so excited we got my man finally. It only took 6.5 years, but he's on the show now.
Come on, yo, check this out, man. When the world was opened up, man, I was ripping and running, man. So, it's like, yo, I'm home right now. I got, y'all got me, man. You know what I'm saying? But it was a Sunday situation. You know what, man? I'm not gonna sit here and justify. You know what I'm saying? I got love for y'all. We got love for each other, man. We homies.
No doubt.
So what's up, y'all? Thank y'all for having us, man. Thank y'all for having us, definitely, man. Y'all are fancy, man. Y'all got 12 screens. Y'all got the broadcasting. I'm sitting in the back. Y'all got me sitting in the waiting room and everything. Y'all are fancy, man. Brother to brother. We ain't come up like that yet. We don't have people waiting in the waiting room and they got caviar and they got drinks and stuff. We got them sitting on their couch waiting. Y'all been doing this way before we was doing this. Y'all got people in the waiting room. It's good. It's definitely good
in the green room. In the green room.
In the green room. That's dope. That's dope. But AJ, I'm glad you know that we're here and we're together because we always talk. And I just wanted to know that we speak all the time, and I appreciate what y'all do all the time. I'm always watching, and I know I support y'all. And I know y'all support us. So that's why I'm glad we're here. Just to let it be known that we support each other. Yeah, exactly. And I want to let it be known too, man, that some of the political guests we have is coming through y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are throwing them over there to us for the interview. You know what I'm saying? So people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? That the majority of the politicians are coming from y'all guys. So that's what's up, man. We just another part of what y'all build out here. We just another part of it. That's all. You dig it?
We one big happy family.
Yes.
No doubt. So
absolutely.
No doubt. So talk about how y'all came up with the idea for the show Brother to Brother, and why you decided to use Instagram as the platform for y'all to do it? Because it's a dope platform.
Well, I guess I could take that. What it was is that you know, when COVID hit.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know if they can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So what it is that during the COVID, me and my brother actually started that we could.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I got you. I'm with it. So we started saying, you know, maybe we talk about some issues. We started talking to each other. We just went live on Instagram and talked to each other. And we, you know, people would join in, and people would, the friends and everybody, we would discuss issues that were going on. And then when that happened, we was like, you know what, you know, maybe if we start talking to some of the people, we knew a lot of people. We said we could bring people in and actually start talking to the people that we know. And that's where it started for just me and him. If you watch some of the first shows, we were actually just sitting in the park talking to each other. And then we decided to make it bigger. And that's when we reached out to the people that we know, and we started inviting people in, and we decided we were going to call it Brother to Brother because we are brothers. And some people don't know that we're actual brothers. So we had to make it clear we're actual brothers, you know. And that's where it started.
Yeah, and basically, you know, he put a gun to my head and told me what to do. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I was a DJ, and he's like, yo, we gonna do this political thing. I was like, yo, I got warrants out here, so I can't be doing too much political things. He got the DA, he got the DA lined up. He got the mayor lined up. So, yo, I got warrants out here, fam. You making me hot. Nah, you know, I'm just playing, man. But yeah, like I said, all this was Brother John's, man. All this was his creation, man. You know, that's his, man. It's 100% my brother John's creation, man. I just fell in line with, you know, with the followers that I had. You know what I'm saying? The followers that I have, actually. You know, I just turned them on to what's happening, man. So, like I said, this is Brother John. This is his calling. My calling is music. His calling is to attack the streets, and attack the politicians who's not adding up to what they're supposed to add up to. So he's asking the questions that the people want to hear.
It's a dope combination. You cutting it up in the beginning, you playing the music in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That music element, it's dope. The two, I told both of y'all. I'm gonna get to your question in a minute, Bob. I told both of y'all. I saw part of the Tasha Diaz show. I had to step off and step back on. But the G Wiz, the show with Glenn, yo, I watched in its entirety, and yo, I was really feeling, and I gotta agree with Floyd. Yo, you definitely found your niche. So I love what y'all are doing, and I will, because a lot of times I don't show love. You know what I'm saying? It's like a competition, like that over there. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I want how we really are. I want to show how we really are. You know what I'm saying? We showing love, and I want to let y'all know I'm really feeling I support what y'all are doing.
Thank you, man. We appreciate y'all. You know, thank you. We definitely appreciate y'all. And like I said, we've been watching y'all for years doing this right here, man. So you guys take on a lot in the community. You know, you guys take on a lot of, you know, a lot of major stories in the community, major news flashes in the community. So y'all took on that. And every time I see you guys on Channel 12, man, y'all stand there strong. I was like, yo, that's dope right there. You know what I'm saying? So I know my brother John was like really involved in stuff like that too. He, you know, and when he put this stuff together, man, I was like, yo, I help you, man. I help you reach the people you couldn't reach. So now when he reached these people, I told John, I said, yo, check this out. When you get to where you want to be, I'm gonna do the Michael Jackson moonwalk, and you're gonna take over from there. I'm going back into the streets.
Well, and actually, the brother to brother show wouldn't be able to be done without both of us there, though. I mean, he says that because of the way the show is, you see the love between two brothers, and it's basically we feed off of each other when we're having an interview. Now, the actual interview with G Wiz that you're talking about, that touched a lot of people. That might have been one of our biggest shows that we didn't even know it was going to be that big, because when we started talking about grown men telling each other that they love each other, and that where it all came from, when Glenn would talk about Jericko, we all came from way back. People didn't even know that Ham and Jericko were in the same class, and that's where it all started. So, like he said, I had to learn to be able to say to my brothers, I love you, because men just don't do that. And I think that's why that show was a powerful show, for one. And a lot of women who hit us on the inbox, I think some of them said they were crying at home just because of the way the show went. How we went from one place to I wouldn't call it a sad place, I call it a joyful place, and then we came back up. So that was one of the big shows for us.
No doubt, no doubt. Yo, Dr. Bob had a question, I think.
Yo, Tri-State, would you believe?
Would you believe if I told you?
Together?
Would you believe if I told you we here?
Exactly.
So
listen,
he waited all this time to say that.
Exactly. That was the punchline. So, I mean, listen, I want to first congratulate y'all on the success of the venture that y'all recently started. And I know you have a variety show, so I know you deal with some more cultural, musical, others more political. I'm curious to know, how is your audience responding? Focus segments that y'all are doing. And then, Brother John, I want you to close out by telling us what do you think is the important questions that we and our audience members and people across Westchester need to be asking themselves right now as we start a new year with a new administration challenges.
Jericko, you want to take the first question?
Okay, the first question. All right. Well, our viewers, actually, I would say listeners, our viewers, man, they think it's great, man. We're actually giving like my viewers actually are more of the hip hop, R&B, the music community. You know what I'm saying? I would say 85 to 90% of my viewers are R&B, or more into music. Let's say that. But we're bringing them information too through our show. With the politicians, with the psychiatrists, with the different guests that we have. So that's why we try to keep it versatile. We try to keep it universal. We'll hit them with like a G Wiz, then we hit them with a Brother Arthur, then we hit them back with a Y from Rough Riders, then we come around and hit them with the Mayor Yonkers. You know what I'm saying? Then we come and have everybody more their attention spans like, yo, that's dope. I didn't know that each city has a budget to to go by every year. Each city has different formats that they run in City Hall, not just the run of the mill, the mayor. They did not know that the city council make all the decisions, and then the mayor gets with them and they all decide on making them to get the decision to go forth. So everybody think the mayor is the mayor, but he still has to talk to the city council. So my peoples don't know things like that. You know what I'm saying? So when we bring that to the light, they're like, oh, I didn't know that. Or I didn't know Andre Stewart Cousins runs for this. Or I didn't know this person was running for that. So we're bringing them different type of situations, and then we're bringing them the music people that they know too. So that's what I would say about that.
Okay, that sounds good.
As far as what we should be thinking about now, I think people say to me, that's a great question.
That's a great question, John.
Yeah, I would say one of the big pet peeves for me right now that I've been telling a lot of people is, let's not drop the ball now, because see, I think that there's people get caught up in symbolism and not understanding that we have to still press that button, because if you give, I'm a person, if you give a lot of speeches, a speech without action to me really means nothing. Like I've said to people that Donald Trump gives speeches and there's actions behind his speeches, right? When you see what he said, and he said, we're not finished yet, that I will be back. There's action going on by the things that he's saying. I'm saying that we have to do the same thing. We need to make sure that we're listening and not just listen to people giving a great speech. We need to start putting action behind what's going on in our communities, what's going on in the city hall, what's going on in Congress. We have to stay more educated and keep our eye on the prize, because we can quickly go right back to what we just left if we don't stay on it.
No doubt, no doubt. I wanted to piggyback off what Jericko was saying. I think that's what the power of your show is. Like my former guest, the guest we had on just before y'all had on your show, Mayor Andre Rainey. He got an album called Politics and Music. Like that's what y'all doing. Y'all bringing the best. Like for him, beginning because Chuck brought the political, the supercharged, but then you had the buffoonery played, and it was like, you know what I'm saying? Then with the music, it was like that's what made it go. So when you combine the music with the civics and all of that, it captures the people and brings them in. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's real dope. That's one of the things I love about the show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead.
Word up. Lorraine, any questions, Lorraine?
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish, Jericko.
Okay, yes. I just want to say that one thing, like what you just said, AJ, because my DJ buddies, when they see me go live, they come on and watch live. So they think I'm DJing live. So once they get on there and see the interview, they end up staying. You know what I'm saying? So I captured my DJ buddies through music, but then they see the show like, yo, Cole, that was dope right there. How did y'all get that person on your, so I reeled them in like that by going live because they think I'm DJing.
And remember, the show is basically, like Jericko said, it's for the average person at home who doesn't go out or doesn't really do the news. We're trying to bring information to the people at home and asking the questions that the average person at home would ask. Everybody gets on TV or gets on a station and it's like almost scripted. It's scripted. Like, okay, I'm gonna ask this and you're gonna answer this way. We don't script anything, and we ask the questions that someone is gonna ask sitting at home watching. Like, I would love to ask this. We ask that question, and I think that's what also makes it very popular for the show.
Oh yeah, and one thing. Let me say one thing, Lorraine. If you can ask the question.
Go ahead.
We don't a lot of people be scared. I'm like, yo, we don't cover scandals. You think I'm saying? So I will not see them somewhere they have no business. And I say, yo, over there, what you gonna talk about it? Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So all right, Lorraine, go ahead.
No, I consider myself blessed in a way because I got AJ, I got David, I got Dr. Bob, I got my brothers that I work with, and then in my own hometown, we got brother to brother. So I'm like, I'm enjoying the fruits of everybody's labor here, and it's like, it feels good for me. And I appreciate y'all embracing me. But, you guys, we all Yonkers homegrown. Yonkers is over 200,000 people. We got all these underserved kids, all these youth, and for the first time for the first time, and it makes me feel so proud to know you guys, but it makes me feel good for the youth because, like you said, Jericko, you hook them with the music, and then they stay for the knowledge. And you guys, for the first time, I know personally a couple, 20 something youth that are listening. They watching because you hook them, and then you guys you talk in a way that they understand. Like, for example, remember when you had Hispano in there, and Andrea, the vibe. I told you guys, the vibe that you guys have. You guys flow. It's like music when you're talking too, and people can understand it. They don't need to go try to look at a dictionary or try to find out what the recidivism mean or something like that. They know because you're speaking in a language that they understand. And every time you go on, you guys have been watching because I'm a fan. You guys have been evolving, and it just gets more special and more special every time. And I want to thank you on behalf of Yonkers mom and grandma. Thank you.
Thank you.
But these kids didn't have this. I know you got your hip hop crowd that listen. Brother John got his group from the Y and everything like that. There's another audience out there that they needed to hear from you guys, and I appreciate that. I really do. That's what I have.
Thank you. And Lorraine, on that note, Andrea Stewart Cousins, that's my auntie now.
Oh yeah, and you know what else? You locked down for a couple of River Fests too.
Yes, I'm locked in. So when Andrea Stewart Cousins, she see me in the street, she go, nephew Jericko, auntie.
And then Lorraine, what you said that was true. Also, is the when the guests do come, I think they're nervous, like Jericko said, because they wonder what we're going to say because it's not scripted. But after the first 5 minutes, they have a ball because we make it so comfortable. Basically, we want y'all to be yourself and tell us. Basically, if you want to take over the floor. Tell us the information that we're asking, and they actually, when you watch the show, they feel so comfortable. I remember one guy, Jamal Bowman.
Bowman, yes.
And now he made it clear to us, like, okay, I'm only going to be able to do you maybe about 30 minutes, 35 minutes the most. I'm out of here. But after the first 10 minutes that we going and we laughing and joking, we had to get rid of him. We were like, yo, we thought you said no. He's like, no, I'm good. This show is great.
We thought you said you had to go.
Yeah. So we tried to get rid of him 3 different times, but he was so comfortable after that. He was like, brothers, I'll come back anytime. Listen, this was fun. He had a ball because we make him very comfortable. So you don't feel so you want to come back enough. Each person we've had so far said they'll definitely come back again.
Yes, sir.
And see, we had that when we first started too. The first time we booked Andrea Stewart Cousins, her people said, she's only going to be able to give you like 20 minutes. And she has to be gone. 15, 20 minutes. They were like real stuff. She came to the show, kicked off her shoes, and rocked out the whole 2 hours and was like, no, she was ready to do some more.
And she does that every time she comes,
And I feel that same thing because, we try to break down so the average person can understand it too. When my brother, Dr. Bob, uses those really big words, I stop him and be like, oh, what's that mean? Because sometimes I actually don't know too. So I have to have him break it down so the average people will know what's going on. And another thing, I don't know if y'all realize we got a Heights connection because Bob's from the Heights too, from 590. And that's where y'all was at the Heights, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
590 East 3rd,
yeah. Well,
418 Bethel Avenue.
Yeah, I grew up across from 590. I'm from the class of 85, so I'm trying to. You must have been up at the high at the same time. But Tri-State, Mike Holt is my man.
Yeah, Michael Holt used to do Michael Jackson in Graham School, man.
Oh, well, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yo, when you see him, say, yo, Jericko told me he used to do the Michael Jackson in Graham School. We used to be in the Graham School Park, man. He used to get in the middle of the floor and start going, do. When you see him, tell him, man.
But that's,
you tell him.
He's definitely right. Dr. Bob, you're definitely right, because Mike Holt, Michael Holt, they were all young. They were all Jericko friends. We were from Bedford Avenue. We were right down 1 block from Graham School, around the corner from Memorial Field. So that's where we were in the Heights. So it's strange that we all came from the Heights in that one little area. It was really not little, but we all knew each other from that area. And Graham School, it was basically like a high school back then, how big it was. So I don't know. You were from 590. Did you go to Graham School too?
Well, you know what it was? I went to Catholic school. I went to Sacred Heart since second grade.
Thumbs down. That's why you use the big words. That's why you use the big words.
My mother
that says it all.
Made me go.
Yeah. Dr. Bob, big words are sexy. We learned a lot from Dr. Bob. His big words are sexy.
Well, I like to, Dr. Bob, I'd like to ask you, I know because you asked me, where do you think we should go from here too? Like, so we don't drop the ball or where we should be at.
I mean, I think that's the most pressing question that we can ask ourselves. And I don't have a ready-made answer, Brother John. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like so many of y'all, I'm just exhausted, quite honestly, by the drama isn't even the word for it, what's going on in Washington. It's nice to see that it's finally dying down a little, but listen, we're about to go through it again next week when the president goes back on, trial for impeachment. And more importantly, I mean, listen, number one, what we got to do, we have to make sure that we contact our elected congresspersons to insist that they carry through on some of the policies that we expect to be in place. And I have actually called my congressman, I called Senator Schumer's office this week to tell him, y'all be sure to hold a real trial with real evidence where a case is made against former President Donald Trump. But of course, that's not enough. And I think a lot of the concern is that those of us who might have pulled the lever in for a Democrat in the last election are suddenly feeling relief in that, we've been saved, and we all know we're not. Also, I think the question for us is, what are we going to do on the local level? Probably, and I'm sure maybe AJ and Lorraine might agree that, and Brother John and Jericko, y'all probably agree as well, that with the elections coming up in November for not only open council seats, but also for the controller seat, we got to figure out a way to get someone in that seat who is actually going to make the financial solvency of the city the primary concern. I think that a lot of us here at Black Westchester have tried to avoid the appearance of making unnecessary criticisms of recent elected officials. And maybe we haven't made as much hay as we should have about a lot of the mismanagement that we've seen in the controller seat. But, I guess the honeymoon has to be over now. We need to speak openly and honestly about the dire troubles that the city is in and the importance of everyone getting out and really reviewing candidates. We got quite a selection of candidates who are likely to be on the ballot. And I think everyone got to give a lot of attention to who is going to, who you're going to pull a lever for.
I agree.
Talking about candidates. Go ahead, John.
Oh, the only thing I was going to say was that I totally agree, and when I say I don't want us to drop the ball, I just want people to understand. I always say for us when the presidency, it's feel good music. I tell people, for me, it's feel good music because we have to remember that 75 million people voted for this other guy, and we can't just act like it's over. And
absolutely,
sometimes we get the feel good music and we act like it's over. And we can't wait till it's 2 months before the election and then jump on the bandwagon and say we have to make the change. We need to have the change all through the year, not just one day or 1 week of the year. It needs to be every day that we're looking to have change and make everything better for everybody. We need to step on it. We need to start loving each other more. And like I said, I fear sometimes that, they say, there are people out there who still believe in the way he believes and react to the things that he said. So we have to look at being careful of what we're doing now. And that's my whole thing. Just don't think everything is over because 75 million people did vote for this man.
Well, you know what? Let me say this.
Right.
Let me throw my hat in the political situation right now because I'm just a DJ. And that's Brother John. I would say that the community itself actually are finally aware of what's going on politically. I would say that's the only thing that's good is coming out of Washington that's showing the Black community, I would say the 25 and over, that, this is really serious. And they all are paying attention now because of that. So we got to say that is the best thing that came out of Washington in the last 4 years since this dude was president. The other president, I would say the community start paying more attention to politicians and the politics now. When a long time ago, they didn't give a damn about politics and politicians before Obama became president. The neighborhoods didn't give a damn about that. They just cared about what went on in the next building and what went on in the next area of that city. But right now, since Obama became president, everybody started paying attention. But when Trump became president, the whole community said, hold up, I got to start paying attention to politics. So I would say that's the best thing that came out of Washington within the last, let's say 8 years.
I think that.
Yo, what's crazy about what you just said?
AJ.
No, I was gonna say what's crazy about what Jericko said. I often tell people, yo, I really wasn't involved in politics before I started doing Black Westchester. Like Jericko said, I was just about my business. I was doing what I was doing. I didn't care about politics. My involvement in politics is I voted for Clinton twice, I voted for Obama twice. That's all our politics. But I had to learn every time we was doing these stories and I was doing these. I learned so much now. People think I was always in the politics all my life, but I really was just even. Like you said, I wasn't fucking about. I wasn't in my mind. Assemblyman was and all that other stuff, and I didn't know what the city charter was, and I ain't know that stuff, yo. The average person don't, the average dude on the street ain't paying attention to none of that. You know what I'm saying? So good is good what we do with Black Westchester, and what y'all are doing with Brother to Brother, because another thing I want to say about Jericko with the music, music always plays, and you know what I'm saying? It's like James Brown and all of them. Like, the music was always a very strong component to bringing us in. You know what I'm saying? And activism and the civil rights movement and all the big Black movements. Music played a vital role. So what you do, is very important. Like you say, I'm just a DJ, but as a DJ, you command the crowd, you bring them in, you get their attention, and then, you know what I'm saying, your brother drop it on them. You know what I'm saying? So that it's
Your
very powerful.
brother drop it on her, right? Brother right there got me into brother right there got me into politics right there. Blame him on the little that I know. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you one more thing, and I'm gonna stop talking. It's two things that brings together. Two things that brings ethnic groups together, culture together. Two things is music and sports.
What?
Music and sports. You could go to a bar right now. 20,000 white people in there and 3 black people in there. We could start a conversation with one white guy that will lead to a conversation with everybody in there. If you start talking about sports and you start talking about music, that's two things that bring everyone together. So now if you have that in your show, you attract everybody. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Lorraine, you were about to say something.
That was 15 minutes ago, AJ.
I'm coming back to you.
What I wanted to say was this. Everybody listening, right, and getting more involved in politics. But something else that I think we have become more aware of the racism and the bias that goes on in our around us in our own communities that people been in the closet for a very long time, and we're starting to see, you know, a lot of people's true colors. For example, Washington Heights, they brought a bunch of vaccines over to Washington Heights for the Hispanic community over there because that particular area has a very, 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 very large number of infected people with COVID. So they went to the armory and they specifically sent this vaccine so that the folks in the armory that were distributing them can work with non-for-profit churches around the area and get all these, you know, folks unvaccinated. What happened? White people from out of town, from here, from everywhere else, went to the armory. They got all the vaccines, and they would give it to them. And you know, there was a time that would have happened, and nobody would have said nothing. We would have sat there, we would have ate it. I know Latinos, we would have ate it. But now we're like, we're more woke now. That was ours. And a lot of heads are gonna roll, you know, but stuff like that, our own lives, they don't care about. They don't care about nothing when it comes to us, a lot of these folks.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Sandy Barnaby from the Anti-Racism Alliance said that's a very interesting point made about sports and music bringing about racial discussions. And that is because if everybody's sport and everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like I have being Rakim as a ringback tone. When you call me, that's what you hear instead of the phone ringing. And white politicians be like, "No, I'm sorry, you answered the phone. No, that was my jam." And I'm like, "Well, this dude is a judge. Like I wasn't expecting him to even know who Rakim was." Like, and I'm surprised. You know, music brings us together like nothing else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sports. Yeah. We all like. Yeah. Sports. The Yankee fan, Giant fan, whoever. You know, sports brings us together like in a whole other way. Yeah. So that's why they got mad when the athletes started talking about politics. It was like they know everybody listening to them. Like
everybody listening.
When Kevin McNeil, you know, during a football game, because he know reaching people that me and you ain't a whole year.
Yep. And you know what? And you know what, John? You know what,
Dr.
AJ?
Bob, I see you rocking in your chair. You had something to say? You wanted to bring something to the conversation?
I was just responding to a question that I saw.
Go ahead.
In the comment bar. Well, I'm gonna wait for the viewer.
The
viewer asked us what about the white ball?
Where one of our listeners, Stephanie Swan.
I just responded to that too. I don't know of no lower class white people. I don't know anybody that I consider lower class, regardless of what race.
I can't see the question, so I don't know what it was.
When I was talking about Washington Heights and how the underserved community, somebody said, what about the lower class white people?
Lower class white people.
My answer is I wouldn't know, because I don't know anybody lower class, regardless of what race it is. So
that's a great answer. That's a great answer. I
don't know, the lower class to be somewhere. I don't know what that is either.
That's funny. That's funny.
I know trailer trash white people.
No, that's funny. That's funny. No, you know what? That's funny. That's kind of funny because I always tell Jericko when I talk to Jericko sometimes. You know, I'm like you, Mr. Man. I don't know any when they say lower class, but
trailer trash.
I used to always ask Jericko. I wonder who they're talking about because I always say I have a big problem when they say, well, the uneducated voted for this and the uneducated thieves voted for that. Like, well, Jericko, who are they talking about when they say
they're talking about us?
Yeah. But they say the uneducated, because how are you determined? So that's why I don't even get into that like lower class or whatever, because that just goes way out of the way. But listen, like I said, I enjoy being here. And did you know that we have a Zab Judah tomorrow?
Yes. I want y'all to talk about that. How'd y'all get that? And I'm definitely looking forward to watching that.
Well, I had Brian Adams. He was the former director of the Golden Gloves, Daily News Golden Gloves. And well, I knew Zab from way back when we used to box at the Cage in Yonkers at the PNL. So when we interviewed Brian, he got in touch with me, and then we spoke to Zab. Zab came on that night when we had the show, and Zab got in touch. We got in touch with each other. He said, "Yo, man, it's a great show. I'd love to be. You asked me. I definitely would love to be on there." And that's how we hooked that up with Zab. But even doing that with him, I decided to reach out to some of the other boxers that I know, because I know a good amount of boxers that are pro. And so now that opened the door, because sometimes it takes one person. Like, I didn't even think about it before. So then when that happened, I'm like, hold up, I know this guy and this guy. So Zab's going to be the first. But we have some other pros coming on later on, in the year that people, and that should be a good interview, because Zab has a great story.
And see, that's what y'all bring. When I said y'all found your niche, Jericko know like a lot of artists and stuff. You did the thing, a lot of the boxers, and then you mix that with politicking. That's what makes it so crazy. But Brother John, I wanted to before I forget. So a lot of people don't know. Some of us behind the scenes been working on this new organization, 100 Black for Change, and it's an organization that you and my partner Damon Jones, who's not here today, started. I wanted you to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about that. What is 100 Black Fathers for Change, and what's that all about?
Well, basically, the short, we just started putting it together, and the 100 Black Fathers for Change is a committed organization of Black men whose mission is to basically provide upliftment and encouragement to the youth, strengthen the families, respect women, and to promote healthy living. And that's basically where we're starting. We're trying to get the harmony and balance back into family structures. And we figure if we start with the young black men while they're young, starting to reach them at an early age, we can try to help them see things differently, see life differently, see women differently, and just change their whole way of thinking. And that's where we're starting at with the 100 Black Fathers for Change.
Yeah, that was a great question.
I think one of the most powerful
AJ.
things. I think one of the cool things about that. I think one of the cool things about that is, whenever you see black men together, strong, standing behind whoever the speaker is for a movement, that's a powerful image, and you don't see that a lot of times in our communities. You know what I'm saying? The role of the black man is just not involved in that. You see a lot about women out there protesting and rallies and stuff. But you don't see enough. You get that you don't even need 100. You need 10, 20 strong black men standing up together while something's being talked about. Everybody's paying attention to that. Like, it's just a strong optic, and I think that's powerful. We need something like that. Dr. Bob is one of the people that he's been asking me about it. He wants to get involved a little bit too. So we're still putting it together, still trying to formulate where we're gonna go with it and everything like that.
Yes, because I always say that.
What up?
You always hear me speak about just uniting and trying to bring people together. If we can start with the young men and just get them together, because see, anytime they see unity, they try to find a way to break the unity up. There's no other bigger fear than to see black men unify. And like I gave a story one time about anything that we do. If you go back to Juan Carlos in the Olympics, when they gave the Black Power sign to go up, when they won the awards that year, that was a movement, and black men actually started feeling that. Do you know now that if you go to the Olympics, due to them, you have to sign a waiver saying you will not do anything before you go. So that, to me, that stopped it, because we can't have y'all having any unity. So anytime you show unity, someone tries to break it up, whether it comes from outside or inside. And that's all I always promote, that if once it's so easy to solve the problem. There's no big problem. If we decide to unite, stick together, things can change. That's the way you get change. If one person goes, but if 1,000 people go, and you said, like I said, the Black Fathers will be very silent, because as I said, only one speaker will speak that day and nobody else will speak. And that's the entire, whatever we're speaking about. And that's about showing unity. And when black young men see that, they may not all come, but you may get a few to say, listen, I'd like to see what that's about. And that's all I want them to do, is just come and see what it's about. And then we can move from there. But we have to start somewhere. You have people who say, oh, this is nothing, this is no good, whatever. We have to start somewhere. And I don't care who starts it. As long as we get to where we have to go, I don't really care who's in charge or who starts it. But let's get where we have to go.
Good answer, John. Good answer.
That's beautiful.
That was another reason why I wanted to definitely have y'all on the show, because people like to cause where they can. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have two things. Like, people will be like, against us or us against them. And even with this, I wanted to show unity amongst, you know what I'm saying? People see us together and hear us building and like, oh, yo, nah. So when they try that, you be like, nah, I seen them on the show. I know them cats run together like that. Them cats, it's not like that. They're not like that. You know what I'm saying? It's good for people. It's good for us to see this kind of unity. We don't see that enough in our images, in our media outlets of any form. You know what I'm saying? We don't see enough unity of black men.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying? Period.
You know what? Right now, AJ, we all in trouble right now because we all unified. Mm-hmm. We all in trouble. We all in trouble. We getting in trouble right now, yo. Whether you know it or not, we on fire right now. I got my security ready, yo. We in
But just
trouble.
imagine, AJ, just imagine you see, if you see 100 young black men start standing together, you know, in unity. And like I said, we don't always have to agree. We don't have to agree on everything, but we need to agree to start sticking together. The answer is so easy, and it's always gone back to unity. Unity. When you unite, you can have things done. It doesn't take. Look, if you say we're going to boycott something down the street, one person can't do it. You have to unify, because what goes on in your community can happen in the next person's community. What happens on your block can happen on the next block. So that's what I mean by I don't have to like you. I don't have to agree with everything. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't be a part of it. You know, to see us all move on and move together.
That's it. Yeah.
One of the things me and David was always talking about on the show, like something could happen in Greenburgh and in Mount Vernon and Yonkers, they'd be like, nah, that's Greenburgh. You know, I ain't worried about that. You know what I'm saying? Something happened in Mount Vernon, everybody else be like, oh, that's just Mount Vernon. No, but the bottom line is if it happened in Mount Vernon, it can happen in Yonkers. If it happened in Yonkers, it can happen in Greenburgh. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop looking. You can hear
I don't know about that
Westchester
budget
stop
in
looking
Mount
at
Vernon, though.
that's just White Plains problem, or it's just Yonkers problem.
That's right, but look at this.
We ain't got nothing to do with that budget in Mount Vernon.
But look at this, AJ. If something happened in White Plains, right, and Yonkers, New Rochelle, Mount Vernon, all get together and stand with that person in White Plains. Something happens in Yonkers. If the people start getting together and stand with that person there, you send a different message. And that's the problem. And I don't know how we can get there, but people have to love each other and trust each other and say, listen, that happened in New Rochelle. We should all go to New Rochelle and stand behind it. It shouldn't be it's your issue. It's not our issue. It's clear that if something can happen here, it can happen. If something can happen to this kid today, it can happen to your kid tomorrow. And that's the biggest problem. Like, we tend to, if it's not mine, we close our eye to it. And it wasn't mine, so mind our business. But if we can start learning how to say, yes, we're going to get together and we're going to get Mount Vernon, Yonkers, Greenburgh, Helmsburg, New Rochelle, everybody together, and we start seeing the unification of that, people will get nervous and think, and believe me, I guarantee we'll get more change that way than the other ways we've been trying.
Right. Absolutely. Dr. Bob, you've been kind of quiet today, Dr. Bob.
I'm gonna listen. I'm listening, AJ.
Dr. Bob.
Rainey,
Dr. Bob, you don't want to ask us no questions in that outstanding vocabulary? You think we might not know what you're saying? That's disrespectful, Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob, I like for Dr. Bob to say, I like to hear what he has to say. If he has a feedback to say, I would love to hear it.
I was somewhat engrossed in thoughts because of the question that Brother Benjamin Panier, I guess that's his last name, posed when he asked us what about the white lower class, and most of the responses was we don't see them. And I want to point out, because this is something that I return to in my classroom and in discussions that I have with politically minded people of color. There are broke ass white people, a lot of them.
White children.
We need to start with, we could call them. I think that's what he meant when he said, "What about lower class white people?"
Oh no! Well, I personally will never call nobody lower class. I don't care who they are. I know there are underserved people. I know we have poor people. I know we have people that are homeless. I know that we got people that are struggling. But I'm not comfortable calling anybody lower class because ain't nobody got a higher level class than me. Ain't nobody got a lower level class. We ain't nobody better than me. I'm not better than anybody. That's the way I look at class.
Yeah.
I understand. When you,
but you said broke ass white people. Yeah, that we got.
Okay, so I don't think that was, unless that's why I asked Benjamin to clarify, because I didn't take that was what he was trying to get at. He was trying to ask, he wasn't so much trying to assign some sort of character to people, but rather was raising the question about people who make less money. This is just shorthand for lower class. We usually call people who make less money lower class people.
What was his question?
It's a class. They belong to a class.
No, what was his question?
But so I just want to make the point, there are plenty of white folks who don't have any money. And I guess Benjamin's point was, where do they fit in the kind of politics that people of color are looking to discuss and develop, whether it be on your show, Tri-State with Brother John, or whether it be on. That's what I thought he was trying to get at.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
I mean, I don't understand. I
see what you're saying.
I didn't see the question. So, like I said, I always say I don't see the questions. But I understand what you're saying, Dr. Bob. I understand what you're saying.
No, I get it. I get it.
So that's kind of what I was thinking about. Like, I think it is important when we're having internal discussions within our communities as people of color about ways forward, that we have to bear in mind that there are white folks who are objectively in similar economic condition. They in the we are broken, fucked up class, like us. We're worried. And is there any possibility of forming political alliances with them? And if so, under what conditions? I guess that's what Benjamin was getting at, but that's why I was kind of looking perplexed and everything. And, you know, it wasn't.
Well, I tell you,
I was trying to figure out
Dr. Bob.
Yes.
Let me answer the question in the Jericko. Let me answer the question in the Jericko answer. I bet they won't be in the class of getting stopped by the cops and getting their ass whipped. I bet you that, regardless of they're broke or not. That one class they won't be in. Because they don't ask about it, because the cops don't pull you over and ask about a check stub before they beat your ass. So that's one class they won't be in. So other than that, I don't know. That's a Jericko answer. That's a Jericko answer.
But you know,
so that's your point is, Tri-State, is that
that's a valid
one way in which black people and white people and people of color have different interests in terms of policing policy. Like, y'all need to acknowledge that the police are shot through with racist assumptions and mistreatment of people of color. And if you want to build politically, then we have to address that issue as well. There are shared economic issues, but if white folks aren't willing to address problems with police in our communities, then it is basically a no-go in terms of alliance building. That's kind of what you're getting at, Tri-State, I think.
Yes, that's exactly what he's saying.
But
yes.
also,
I guess it is, yo. Okay, I guess. Let's go with that.
You know, that's a really.
Listen, I'm the DJ. That's the brother John.
That's a really, all of those are really good points, but that's not what I got when he said that. I got something completely different.
You know what? We wasted too much time on that.
Well, that's why I asked
question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brother to
I
brother
just
show,
wanna
we
say
wouldn't
one
waste
thing
that much
about that.
time on that
This is what
question.
it is for me. Yeah.
My listeners wouldn't care about
I just want to say one thing. Right. I just want to say one thing about that. Yo, regardless, a white person can clean up and throw on a suit or something and walk through some doors that I can do. I can't clean this black off of me. You still, that's all you see when you see me. You know what I'm saying? And how the police react to me because of the color of my skin. They can't. They can move in. They can clean up and get into a crowd of some white people, and you wouldn't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? I can't blend like that. So there is a little bit of a difference. But with that, we're gonna move on. Like you said, we're gonna move on. But it did need to get addressed, and somebody asked. So
yes, you're right.
Word up.
You're right.
Oh, John,
So like I
first
told
time
you,
we
AJ,
had John on the show, you brought the Yonkers.
Huh?
I couldn't hear you, AJ.
Huh?
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I said the first time we had you on the show, you brought the Yonkers YMCA boxing team. You know, and we showed that how involved you was with that. And talk about that a little bit, because I don't think everybody knows that about you.
Yeah, the YMCA boxing team I started maybe about 15 years ago, and you know the YMCA had this different policy that they thought boxing. Well, a lot of people think boxing may be brutal. They just don't like it. They say you're just teaching kids to fight. I got the team, and I started. Strange thing, I started with young ladies in the boxing team, and I got the first champion Golden Glove right here in Yonkers. She held 2 Golden Gloves, and I built the team. Me and the other coaches. There's 3 other coaches. Our team is probably one of the top teams in New York right now, out of the YMCA. That's male and female, young men and young women. What I would say is that if people understand that these teams, I've got gang members. I have gang members. I have kids who feel. I never understood, but when you get a young kid that comes to your gym that's 11 years old, and you come to him and say he wants to box, and I say, why you want to box? And he goes, because I got anger issues. I don't really know who told the young kid he had anger issues. I really don't see how he says that, but we sit and talk, and a lot of these kids just want somebody who cares about them or will have their back. So it's not just a boxing team. My boxing team is more of a family. We travel together. I picked these kids up. I had an Acura MDX, and they used to say, "Oh, it's snowing, coach. We can't make practice." I said, "Oh, no. I'll be there." I'd pick up 12 kids to get to the gym and train, and then take them back home, because that's how serious we were about our boxers doing what they do. They also have become successful people. I have one young lady, the one who's the first to win the Golden Gloves, as a female in Westchester. She's a state trooper now. Another one's decorated in the Air Force. Another one is a massage therapist. The other one is a what is it called? A nurse practitioner. One of the guys is an engineer. So we and they've come to us and have told us, if it wasn't for boxing, we probably wouldn't have gotten where we have gotten. It's a lot to do. I've taught these kids public speaking. One day of the week we always have where the young kid has to get up. Doesn't matter if he's 8 years old or he's 18. He has to get up and talk about his day or something that happened, to speak in public. Because I told them, when you have these boxing matches, sometimes people come to you and say, "Hey, you just want to fight," and it's the news. I don't want you standing there stuttering. As much as they hate doing it, they had to do it, and they've all become great speakers. The team right now, the Y right now is frozen everything, so we haven't been in there. But we still have, I would say, 32 boxers that are still ready to go. I'm proud of the team. We've come a long way, and that's what I mean by if you get the kids in some type of activity, it doesn't even have to be boxing. You'd be surprised if you put a kid in a chess club that they thought would never want to play chess. he or she may take advantage of that. The more you give them to do something, they might find their niche like we did and that we talk about. So as far as that, we're still doing good. The boxing team is still doing great.
Are you teaching?
That
Matt, are you
I
teaching
learned in
guys
that
and
show
girls?
where y'all interviewed G Wiz.
I didn't hear you. I can't hear you.
Daddy, come here.
Lorraine says
AJ, I was just gonna ask you. You currently have male and female boxes that you train?
Yes, we have male and female boxers. There's 2 male coaches, 2 female coaches. We train male and female boxers starting at the age of 10, and you can go up to 60, 70, doesn't matter. Our oldest person we had was a female. She was 72, and she didn't fight tournaments, but she trained with all the other guys, and she did everything that they did and pushed it to the limit. And one thing, everybody, a lot of guys, young guys, young women, some of them are not even on the team. They're just there because they don't want to be in the street. So they'll come in and hit the bag for 5 minutes, and that's their workout, and I'm fine with that. But they feel like they're still a part of the team, and that's what makes them feel good. They're cheering, and up when we have visitors come by to spar, these kids, you would think they were the ones fighting because they feel so proud about being with the team and people that look out for them. I have one young man, I'll tell a quick story. He came to the gym, and he never spoke to nobody but me. He wouldn't speak to nobody else, how shy he was. Young kid from Whitney Young, and never talked. We can't shut that kid up now because it's just a difference of knowing that somebody cares and people pushing you, and getting it. And we were so proud of that guy. He actually decided to fight, and he only fought one time. He had a great fight. And sometimes, I tell people, you just join the elite club because everybody tells you they're going to fight. But when it's time to fight, they can't find their birth certificate. They can't find this, they can't find that. But when you do it that one time, I tell them, you don't have to do this no more. You've accomplished your goal. Your goal was to do it. We pushed you through it. And that's what makes me proud because I sit back and just like, wow, we got this kid from here to here. When you see them grow, this kid wouldn't do this. I had a young lady she was overweight. She didn't want to work out with the rest of the group. She would go in the corner and she'd jump rope in the corner while everybody jumped in the front. And I said, why are you doing that? I said, you think people not paying attention to you? She said, I don't want nobody to see me, and pay attention. I said, well, they pay more attention to you because you're jumping by yourself. Go join the group. And that girl, she ended up being one of the top fighters, that I've had. She was another one. She went to Kansas and won what they call ringside, one of the biggest tournaments there is. And I think she was 215 when I got her. And when she won, she fought at 152. And she did everything on her own. And let me tell you, that's what I mean by getting there for the kids, giving them something to do. And you'll see that all they want is someone who cares. That they can say, I know he'll back me up. I've been to schools, and go see their principals, and they know that somebody has their back. But like I said, I'm proud of my team, and we're still going, and hopefully we'll open back up soon.
Brother John for mayor.
No doubt. We need as well. Yeah, right. We need safe places for our youth. We need a safe environment. We need people our generation. I always say the reason or in jail is because older cats saw something in me and poured something in me over the side. Now they say the youth is out of control. If the youth is out of control, it's not the youth failing us, it's our generation failing the youth. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to get back now, and we gotta be that for them young kids now, and that's what's missing sometimes. A lot of times, a lot of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for some older cats that mentors or something that got at us. You know what I'm saying? And now we don't do the same, and that's the reason why some of our kids is out of control now. And like you said, they just want somebody to listen to them. You know what I'm saying? hear. Sometimes that's it. They just want to be heard. You know what I'm saying? And when you're not heard, you start acting out. And that's some of the things you see them acting out because they're not heard. And since they're our future, we need to be doing what we can do because, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going to be doing this. But they're going to be the next generation of all this. So, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you do. And for all the people, for all the unsung heroes in our city who give back to our kids, you know what I'm saying? We try to spotlight some of them. They don't get enough attention. You know what I'm saying? Those people that do that don't get enough attention. There's unsung heroes in every community that have been putting in that work for a long time. Now, one of the things I wanted to switch lanes a little bit. So one of the things I learned about in that interview with G Wiz is that Jericko, who I know as the voice of Westchester, who I know is that dope DJ, used to rap with Have like before he got on, and you know, like, I want to hear a little bit more about it. I never knew that story. I never knew that. Like, I learned something new in that interview.
Yeah, man.
Well, I would say I'll let you go, Cole. Well, it started. All of our parents knew each other. So Ham's mother knew my mother. My mother knew Troy's mother. So we all knew each other. So we grew up together like that. I'm older than all of them. So they would all come to the house, and I would watch them when they were all first starting dancing in the living room. So that's where it actually started, in the living room with Troy, Ham, and Jericko, and Michael Hope was a part of it. If I'm right, Jericko? I'll let him take over now, but I think
AJ said, Jericko, I want to ask you a question. John said, hold up, I know the answer. So John, continue on, yo. What the hell am I going to say now? It started in the basement? No, it started in the living room, like John said. He asked about boxing. I ain't say nothing. He asked about rapping. You answer. Come on, brother John. What are you going to do?
I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, I mean, yo, AJ, everything John said is true. Next question. Yeah, man.
Very real.
Go ahead, Jericko.
No, Dr. Bob said yes, something to say.
Go ahead, Bob.
After you finish.
Yeah.
So, you answered, John. We finished already.
I'm an old, even though you didn't see me up at Graham, I don't know where y'all was at, but I was there. I'm an old school hip hop head. Hey DJ was a classic for our era. I wanted to give you and your daughter props for the remix. I watched the remix and that's your daughter you did it with, right? Yeah.
Yes. That's my daughter, man. You know what? It's funny because
and I wanted to ask you.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Oh, all right. That's my daughter, man. She sings at church, man. She sings in the choir. She's a lead singer in the choir. So, I mean, I sat home. We heard a song one day, and I was like, "Yo, hey, DJ," and I said, "Darren, come here and sing that part, man." Let me tell you something, brother. She went in the studio. She laid that down. It took her 2 takes to do that song. 2 takes. Then she started getting behind the boards and telling me, and the engineer was working with her, showing her how to do it. And I messed up like 4 or 5. Matter of fact, I messed up like 5 or 6 times. She's like, "Daddy, no, you can do it better than that." So she sat there and took charge. But it only took her 2 takes to do that song and the video. Yo, that was the hardest video to do, man. I messed up by having a video in the park, brother. Trying to have a 9-year-old not play on the swings, not play with other kids in the park, man. That was the biggest mistake I could make. It took a 5-hour video, almost 10 hours, because she said, "Daddy, every take, I'm gonna go play. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." And I invited her friends to come too. Yo, it was like daddy daycare. Could you please come over here and just do this part? Daddy, I'm tired. Daddy, I'm this. But it came out to be incredible, man. It's probably the best song I ever did.
Listen, I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize. Jericko,
You don't mean it, but you did it already.
Okay, well, can you answer AJ? All I did was lay the foundation of the parents, but he wanted to know about when y'all were MC Cloud. He wanted to know about that. I laid the
Here you
foundation.
go. Answer the questions. I never said that about MC Cloud. You just brought in MC Cloud. How about I want to say MC Cloud? You just said MC Cloud.
AJ wants to know about when you were back there. You're not listening to what I said. That's what he wanted to answer to. I laid the foundation to the beginning of where y'all used to be together in Graham School.
But AJ didn't ask you to lay no foundation. AJ didn't ask you the question. AJ asked Jericko the question. How are you going to lay the foundation for a question that AJ asked Jericko? Yo, see, this is what we go through on Brother to Brother, man. This is what we go through, AJ. This is exactly what we go through. Now, me and Hev used to be down with a group.
Go ahead.
me and Heavy D used to be down with a group called Clever 4. I was MC Dow D. He was MC Cloud. Trouble Treeroy was DJ Cheese Boy. We had Mark Forbes in the group. We had Michael Holt. All of us in the group. And we all grew up, man, listening to music, bro. I mean, that's all we used to do. As kids, man, sit on the steps when we get from school on the weekends, and we listen to Mr. Magic. We used to listen to Red Alert. And Red Alert is that old, like you know, they was on the radio for a very, very long time. The Supreme Team, where I got the song Hey DJ from. They was on 105 or something like that. They was in the little radio station at the end. But yeah, man, we used to be down with the group together. And what happened was we moved from Mount Vernon to the Bronx. And you know, when you move, you go back and forth for like a year straight. You go back and forth to your old neighborhood. I would say once I started knowing everybody where I lived at in the Bronx, then I stopped going to Mount Vernon. I started going from like almost every weekend to once a month, to end up not going back there at all, but always talk to these guys on the phone. You know, before I knew it, man, Heavy D became Heavy D and Troy became the boys and Glenn and the rest of them. I didn't know Eddie yet, you know, and the rest of them dudes, man, they came off. And like I said in the interview, I was there with the creation of Heavy D as a rapper, you know, me and him being together. And I felt, and you see the interview when I said, yo, man, I was salty for years, and everybody knew, all of them knew. Like, I don't think, you know, people outside of that circle actually knew, you know, like the Pete Rocks and stuff. But Pete Rock can tell you right now, oh, Hev, that's Jericko, Jericko's Hev's man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so Pete Rock was there from you know, day one. But yeah, all that little circle knew, like, Jericko, man. I mean, I was salty. I mean, like anybody would be, you know, like we was down together, and then here it is. We used to watch Soul Train together, and wow, you end up being on Soul Train. I end up, you know, just being a regular dude from the neighborhood. But after a while, man, you know, sometimes a lot of people who stay salty all their life and always hating on somebody else, they end up stopping their blessings, and they end up holding back their career because you worry about that career over there so much that you end up not doing your business, take care of your business. So I mean, I end up just being Jericko all my life and start doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not a national worldwide star like Heavy D, but damn it, I am a local dude. You know what I'm saying? I am somebody around the neighborhood, around, you know, the tri-state area. I'll take that any day. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that any day, man. You know, so you know, I didn't turn out bad. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say that, you know.
We see the smile.
Yes,
it was dark. It was later. I came on later and said,
"Okay,
you really found your niche with the." And I agree. And even with the show, I got something with that show. That y'all got something, and y'all don't even realize it yet. And it may not manifest for a while, but y'all are on something with that show.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Because I was definitely going to leave Brother John.
So tell everybody how the show's going.
After the third show, I was leaving Brother John. I could automatically leave him because he's my brother. I've been with him for 52 years. But I was leaving his ass. But since you told me that, I'm gonna hang around for a little longer. Now, imagine if I leave him like I left Heavy D and he ended up being a politician. I'm really salty then, yo. I done left two people that blew up on me, man. I'm doing something wrong. So I'm hanging in there right now. I'm hanging in there. I ain't moving.
What's the show and how people?
I couldn't hear you.
We couldn't hear you, brother.
When we talked about the show, when does it come on? What day and time? And how can people check it?
Okay, go ahead, Brother John.
Oh, I'm allowed to talk now?
Yes,
he didn't
go
say,
ahead.
He didn't say who answered it.
He didn't say names. He said Jericko before.
Okay.
He said a name.
Got it. All right.
He didn't say names, so I'm giving you the floor.
Thank you, Jericko.
You're welcome.
We're on every Thursday, Instagram Live from 7 to 8. On occasions, we'll do a special edition Monday, and the time stays the same. It's always from 7 to 8. In order to get onto the show, you'll have to go friend Jericko at music_by_Jericko. And that's the page that you would go to get onto the show. But it's every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m.
All right. And it's Jericko spelled Jericko. That's music_by_Jericko. Jericko. Not the H. Icko. And this Monday, we have a special edition show this Monday. And that's tomorrow with Zab Judah. If you don't know who he is, he's the former, what is he, John?
Former welterweight and the former junior welterweight champion. He's the former welterweight, the former junior welterweight champion. He'll be on Zab Judah, and then Thursday we'll have Brother Arthur from Mount Vernon.
Brother Arthur from Mount Vernon Thursday. DJ Islam.
Oh, no doubt. I DJ Islam. Right.
Yes. Yeah. Short for Islam.
Brother Arthur's right. Brother Arthur's another brother that rocks with us. And yo.
AJ. You know, AJ, I meant to tell you, we working on Grandmaster Cash. So I know you'll like that one.
Oh, absolutely. We coming to the close of the show. I want to give everybody a chance to get their last words, and Lorraine's dog is getting a lot of attention in the comment section. They telling her baby, and the dog is there voguing in the background. So
that's a Yonkers. That's a Yonkers.
Any last questions? Anything?
That's Yonkers for you. Even the dogs got rhythm.
Huh?
The last statement I'm gonna have is thank y'all for having us, man. I appreciate y'all finally on y'all show. And I'm finally on the show, and I'm missing my brother, Mr. What they call David? The L.A. Reid of Black Westchester. L.A. Reid of Black Westchester, man. So, yo, tell Damon I said, what's up, man? And I finally came on his show, and I'm missing him right now, man. So thank y'all for having me. I appreciate having us, me and my brother John. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate the support that y'all giving us. And you guys been doing this for the longest, man. I've been watching y'all for the last 10, 15 years that y'all been doing this, man. And you guys got a dope platform, man. And And you guys, I respect what y'all doing, and love is love all day, man. Thank y'all.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And again, I like to say the same thing. Definitely
Brother
thank you for
John, any
having us
last
here.
words?
Yeah, I want to thank you all for having us on the show, and I would just like to say, let's just start learning to love one another and unite more. And that's all I would like to say. And make sure that you tune in to Brother and Brother every Thursday night, 7 to 8. And we definitely, Mr. Rain, I'd like to definitely thank you because you helped us out a lot. And AJ, you always been there for us. Dr. Bob, always. And as long as we all keep building together, there's no limit to what we can do or where we can go.
No doubt, no doubt. Dr. Bob, any last words?
I just want to say it was a pleasure having y'all on the show. I look forward to some of the stuff that y'all will be doing. Yeah, maybe I'll tune in to see Zab. I'm sure Mike will be especially interested. Yeah, and continued success, y'all. I think it's important for us to recognize that there's a lot more room for community-oriented media outfits, what Black Westchester has, which y'all are launching. And so, I hope that we can complement each other going forward.
While we promoting, everybody who follows Black Westchester Facebook, make sure that you follow Lorraine Lopez Latino Empowerment page. If you're not following it, go ahead and like that. Lorraine, any last words?
No, I just want to say I'm glad we're back. I missed you, AJ. I missed you, Dr. Bob. We're back on Sundays. We've got special Tuesdays going on. I think AJ will say something about that before he closes. And guys, brother to brother, you're my brothers. I love you guys. One thing, y'all, everybody out there listening, we got a blizzard coming. Be safe, stock up. Make sure you got your flashlight, your batteries in case power goes off. And make sure you stock up and stay warm out there because it's damn. Don't drive out there. Don't drive out there if you don't have to. That's it, Jay.
No doubt, no doubt. I am working. I am working on a post right now for Black Westchester, breaking down like the different cities, the state of emergencies, alternate side of the street parking, whether your garbage is going to get picked up in the next couple of days. I'm working on that. And anybody who can hear me, if you're an elected official and you ain't reached me, I need to hear from you about your city so I can get your information out there too. Moving on to what I was talking about. So every year going into the show is just full of nothing but candidates. Nobody even have told me, ain't this people before politics? What happened to the people? So we decided to not put everybody, all the candidates on the Sunday show going up to the primary. We started a special Tuesday called Super Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. And we're going to be doing some of the interviews of the candidates throughout Westchester on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. It came from a conversation with Lorraine, and it really was birthed from that. And she's getting a lot of the candidates. Anybody who's running for office or running for a seat and wants to be on the show, reach out to me or Lorraine. And to the brothers, Tri-State Jericko and Brother John, I want to thank y'all for being on our first show of the year, our first show back. I mean, for making it fun. I want to congratulate y'all once again for what y'all are doing. It's hot, it's fresh, it's dope, it's innovative. And I'm, like I said, on something. Anything I can do to support it, whether it's help y'all ever get the word out there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got y'all. Word up. So that's it. With that said, this is the end of our show. You could be doing anything. No doubt. That's our time. You could be doing anything, but you chose to ride with us. This is People Before Politics, brought to you by Black Westchester. We're on every Sunday, 6 to 8. on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And until next week, peace.
Peace. Yes.
Peace.
So mean.
22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.